original Jeanie Johnston was built in Quebec in Canada around the time of the Irish famine 150 years ago. She was built in the late 1840s. She was built by a Scottish shipbuilder, John Munn, and she traded across the North Atlantic as an immigrant ship or famine ship between Ireland, mainly Tralee, to New York, Baltimore and Quebec in Canada.
Back then, a lot more people would have been put on board than nowadays.
She carried anything from 200 people sometimes, and on one particular voyage she carried 250. So when we're at sea we carry 40 in the present Jeanie. The original carried 250 in conditions, of course, of no comfort and no great crowding and no comfort and a lot of deprivation, etc.
And the voyages lasted a long, long time.
In those days the voyage was from Ireland, when they got wait for suitable wind, down to the Canary Islands, down to the trade wind route in 20 degrees north latitude, across in that parallel and across the American coast and up the far side to our various destinations. And the voyage would have taken a month to the Canaries and a month across. So generally the voyage took 7 weeks to 2 months.
The food people lived on was very basic.
She would have carried a very basic food, very basic. Things like porridges, stews, cheese. They would have baked bread, of course, which would have been a staple diet. Potatoes, of course, if they could get them. Probably they got them on the far side. The crops in Ireland were all diseased, as you know, at that time. So a very basic diet, a very frugal diet, just enough to keep body and soul together.
Travelling at sea back then was a very perilous time. But Michael Coleman tells us something amazing about the Jeanie Johnston.
A lot of ships lost a lot of people, but unique among them all, the Jeanie Johnston, the original, never lost a soul. In fact, she gained one person because there was a baby born on the trip once. So she actually gained one person on one particular voyage, but miraculously she never lost anyone, mainly because she had a caring captain, caring owners, and uniquely amongst a lot of the ships she carried a doctor.
So what was the idea behind building a replica of the ship?
As the 150th anniversary of the famine came up in '97, and also in the approach to the millennium, people were looking around for ideas, and John Griffin is a public service official in Tralee, came up with the idea of building a replica famine ship. It's a wonderful idea, and he got the support of people down in Tralee, and Dick Spring was the tarnished at the time, and eventually government approval was got and the building was started. It was a major, major undertaking to build a ship like this. It took 4 years to build, but we have a wonderful ship now, and this is her 5th year in commission, and things are going very well.
The original Jeanie Johnston sank, so it was a difficult job to try and replicate her exactly.
Some drawings did exist of her, some pictures of the original, and basic descriptions existed of ships of that time. It's not that long ago, so a lot of the information is readily available. So it was all gathered together. The ship was designed by Fred Walker and built by a purpose-built shipyard in Glenaville, Tralee.
These days, the Jeanie Johnston is on a very different mission than her original boat.
She recreated the original voyage in 2003, sailed from Ireland down to the trade wind route and spent the whole of 2003 on the east coast of America and Canada visiting 22 ports. She was very well received over there, spent the whole summer over there and returned in November 2003. So that was our first year, and since then we've been doing sail training trips and voyages around Europe and Spain, France, North Europe, Ireland, England, Scotland. We of course visited Waterford for the tall ships 2 years ago, and we're delighted to see them coming back again this 2011, I believe.
Michael sees the ship as a wonderful educational platform for people all over the world.
We can set up the interior to replicate what things were like in the famine. We have a prefabricated interior. When we go to sea, we can dismantle a museum and put it away. But when we're in port, we can set up a museum, and we're open to the public in Waterford this weekend. People would like to come and see the ship, and it's set up. The museum is set up. You can take shots down below on the set.
But Michael Coleman and his crew have no plans to give up sailing just yet.
Oh, she will continue to do her usual summer schedules around North Europe, and we had a very interesting trip there recently. We replicated the voyage of the Flight of the Earls, and this year is the 400th anniversary. We sailed from Rathmullen in Donegal to Quebeuf in France, to River Seine. We replicated that historic voyage. So there's lots of commemorative trips coming up, and people who would like to see more, they can go into our website, www.jeaniejohnston.ie.